subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man.
What's up, everybody? This your boy Randall Davis, aka Big Gator from Gator'z Golden Grillz, and you are now tuned in to the Donnie Houston podcast. Clarke's up, Southside still holding.
Yeah, man, it's going down to the Donnie Houston podcast. I am Donnie Houston. Check it out, man. We got a special guest, man. You know what I'm saying? We got some family in the building, man. Man, listen, man, this boy here got one of the livest jewelry companies in the city. You know what I'm saying? Moving around doing this thing, man. Gator'z Gold Grillz, man. Hey, man, all around just Southside player, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad to have him in here with me, man. What's going down?
Man, what's going down, family, man? It's an honor to be here, man.
How you feeling, man? We here, man.
Yeah, you know, I don't give a damn. I don't really get camera shots. You know what I'm saying? So once I loosen up, we'll get to showing my ass in just a bit. You know, Southside still holding. Wait, what your boy Dot say? You know the slogan? The
Southside still holding. That was it right there.
Let me tell you something.
That was it.
I be everywhere.
That was
Ever since I heard that,
you know the slogan.
Everywhere.
Southside still
they be like, all right,
holding.
man, how you doing? I'm like, you know the slogan?
Yeah,
Southside still holding, man.
Yeah.
So shout out to him.
Yeah,
That
shout out
shit go,
that, yeah.
I done added that to my vocabulary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that definitely was one for the players when he said that.
Hey, man, that made me feel, it brought back some nostalgia,
It's
man.
that pride, bro. Like, you know, I be going to sometimes talk to these schools and shit, and like, I go and ask kids like where they from and certain things like that. Like I go to Dialing, well Lawson.
Yeah, you know my son just graduated from Lawson.
Yeah, and it's like it ain't the same no more. Like
it's not.
It used to be something like I remember being in like 6th, 7th grade. Somebody asked you from it. I'm like Hiram Clarke, you know what I'm saying?
Say man, like and you know I spent a little time on the north, so you know what I'm saying. Like I went to private school for a little bit. So, you know, I went to the north side and I was at Bama Middle School for like one semester. Hey, man, that was my first time interacting with the north and all that. And, hey, man, shout out to everybody out there because they really real. They always show me some love. But, man, when I was out there, man, I was clocked up. Hey, Southside. They're like, well, why you don't wear that fucking Southside fade? I be like, hey, now, y'all. That's why I draw the line.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But
I had a bald fade. I never went Southside.
Nah, I never went South Seal, man. And my old man is South Seal for live.
He still got?
Nah, hell no. Oh. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. But that was just, even growing up in a house like that, we had never, you know what I'm saying? We never, that was never our thing. Now, my little brother, Raphael, man, and anybody that know will tell you this, man, he to this day wears a Southside fade.
No shit.
It's like he waited till he was 18. And then when he started paying for his own haircuts, we got a Southside fade, and that nigga to this day. We just had my sister gender reveal.
He showed up with the Southside.
I go look at my Instagram. He's slappy. Right here with
you know it. Just the front part.
I'm talking about you just want to hit the back of that head non-stop. You know what I'm saying? Haircut Tim right down the way, cut his hair. I fucking hate it. I tell him stop every time. You know what I'm saying?
Ready. Well, man, what's going down, man? You got the company talk about Gator'z Golden Grillz. I definitely want to get that out the way before we do any of the shit.
Well, man, I'm actually. You know, I'm 5 years in now. I know it seems like an overnight type deal, but man, I've been grinding, man. August 21st, 2017, I actually started it. So how I started it, you know, I used to work overseas. I was working offshore. And I came home, we got laid off. I came home, I started working at Pepsi. Man, Pepsi was working the shit out of me, man. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, I got to find me another job. So I just basically took any job that was, you know, driving trucks. But in the midst of that, I was looking for a side hustle, like a second job or something, anything, man. I had a little watch, you know, because when I was working overseas, you know, we was getting some money, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I had a lot of shit.
Got a little money to play with.
Yeah, I had a little money to play with. But, you know, like, see, now, you know, I'm not working overseas no more. That money kind of...
They got to turn into something, yeah.
Lifestyle changing. And then I was at Pepsi, we was making some good money, but then, you know, shit, I just went and got a job. First job that hired me that made anywhere close to what I was making, I took it even though it was substantially less. So when I got to looking at the stuff I had, you know, I was like, man, maybe I could sell my slab, man, or maybe I can get rid of these extra cars. You know, I was just trying to condense some shit. Man, I went up to the jury building and was just kind of fumbling around in the jury building, and I came across, I think they go by Dione Jewelers. The Dione creation, the Dione family, man. Shout out to Borna, Mike, Rod, Sudi, Roxanne, Kevin, and everybody over there. But you know, it's a whole family. You know what I'm saying? They got Dione Creations, and man, I was gonna actually try to sell, you know, a watch or two to them, but then I see they had something set up in there like Grillz and all that shit. So I jokingly said, hey man, y'all should let me sell Grillz for y'all. They was like, yeah, all right, man, that's cool. Come back in 2 weeks, cause I'm bullshitting. I ain't think nothing of it. So shit. I'm bullshitting, they bullshitting me back. I'm like, yeah, man, they feeding into it. I going on about my business. It was a dude that was in there. I'll never forget. I want to say his real name is Julius Archie, but he used to go by ATM Grillz, always talking money. I still follow him. I think he's running with Boosie now. He part of the Badass Syndicate. You know what I'm saying? But he from Austin, or like up in that area somewhere. And he was telling me like, yeah, man, like, you should do it, man. You can make your money, all that other shit. And I ain't think nothing of it, you feel me? So I ended up kind of getting a little intimidated because I saw the shit they had in there and all that. So I just took my little watches and shit, and I went on about my business. Man, but I left my number. Man, it was wild, man. I think it was not Borna, but I think Kevin had called me, because they was trying to expand with having people do wholesale. He like, hey, man, what happened to you, man? We thought you was coming back. We thought you wanted to sell Grillz. So I'm like, man, this might be a sign. I'm at work, pissed off, sitting there because I was getting paid by the load.
Yeah. I'm
waiting and shit. So it's like, I was like, man, when I get off, I'm going to come up there. What time y'all close? I think they close like 5 or some shit. Like, man, I'm going to get off early and I'm going to come run up there. I'm working all the way in LaPorte. Like 225 and String Road. And I'm talking about all the way out there. Man, I got off. I went ahead and parked the truck because there wasn't nothing jumping. No need for me to stay there. So, man, I drove all the way to Sharpstown Mall from there. And they was putting up the jewelry and they gave me a little booklet. And they was like, look, what you can do is, we sell you this, or you can get this at this price, and you can put your own little twist on it, but you need to get a DBA, all that other shit. You got to handle your business. You the game, yeah. You got to handle your business first, and then we can do what we do on our end. So at the time, I was at the end of a relationship, let's say that. You know what I'm saying? Because you really wasn't broke up yet, but you know how it is, man. I had asked her input. Like shit, her ass look at it like, shit, you better. You can use the extra money. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of shying away from it. But I just went ahead, I said, fuck it, man. And was sitting at Papados, man. I'll never forget, man. I probably had maybe $100 or something. So I'm sitting at Papados at the bar. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I need to find out a name, man. But I wanted something normal and regular. And, man, I'm texting one of my homegirls, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, man, what you think? I was telling her what I was doing. And I think you know her. Regina Walker, Gigi?
Gigi, yeah.
5-star Gym.
Yeah, Gigi.
So, so she about to get a little credit right now, all right?
Okay.
So because she actually is the one that designed my logo as well.
No shit.
Hell yeah. Her and her cousin, I can't remember his name, but I gave them kind of, a visual how I wanted, so how it's mean with the bright eyes like me and all that other shit. I'm saying? Like, people always said I look mean, even though I'm not. You know what I'm saying? People always said I look mean. So they came up with the logo and then Gator'z Golden Grillz in the circle because I thought like, yo man, I want to do a necklace. So she was like, well, just name it Gator'z Golden Grillz. And that shit is there. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Gigi, man.
Shout out to Gigi,
girl,
Southwest vet, real life, real nigga, man. I met her working at we worked at Athlete's Foot together.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Me, her, shout out to Kim, you know what I'm saying?
You talking about Athlete's Foot on South Post?
Right here.
By Kroger.
Man,
you talking about 2002, 2000?
No, that's why I say this is long time ago, man.
Kim went to Madison.
Yeah.
Light skin Kim.
Came out on too. Milburn.
Yeah, Milburn.
Family. Yeah, that's my dog. You know what I'm saying? I actually I was shopping there. There was another deal. I started off as a customer. And Kim and I want to say it was Miss Verna. Miss Verna might have called me because Miss Charlotta was doing a walk. She was doing like a walk, and she walked from like here to Chicago or something like that. Yeah, she was like raising money and stuff like that. And she was like, hey, we got a position open, Miss Verna wanted to know if you wanted it because you always said you wanted to work in the shoe store. I used to joke with them, going there by forces and shit like that. So that's how I got plugged in over there. So then, Regina, Aaron Holloway worked there. It was all of us, man. It was quite a few people. Donald Cooper, Nicholas Givens.
Yeah.
Remember Nick? He worked there as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how I got tied in with her. So, just over the years, just a building friendship and just continued on. It just kind of went from there. So, yeah, she is most definitely one of the the people that had a hand in
That's
Gator'z
what's
Golden
up. Shout out
Grills.
GG. So you go, you get your DBA, everything. You come back to the dude. Then what's the next thing? Is he giving you product, or like what's the like?
Oh, okay. So it was kind of like, I get something at one price, I can help them sell it and stuff. I was really a salesman. So like a lot of people use that jeweler deal, real hectic, like, but that wasn't it. Like I was really a salesman. So what it was is that I would bring people in, and show them some of the stuff that we have and all of that, and they would either buy or they wouldn't. For the first 6 months, man, I quit that shit like 3 times because I wasn't doing nothing. And I'll never forget. I don't know her friend's name, but this chick name is Chi Chi. Crystal Polk. I remember, I got one hell of a memory. Crystal Polk. That was the first person I did a grill for. And my cousin Tara. I did them in the same week. And all they did, they got two fangs with a front and a back bar. Bottom grills. I might have made off of both of those grills maybe like $50 a piece. I probably made $100. From that point on, I was so hyped because I saw how easy it was. I was pulling up on people doing moldings and all that shit. So it was like it grew from there. And shit. As time went on, I wasn't even trying to push jewelry anymore. I did hook a few people up with custom signs like Taylor's right here. You ever seen Chris Taylor's piece?
No.
The Taylor's necklace, just like they logo. I did that. I did a few other rappers necklaces and a few other people, throughout the city, like custom, hooked them up on some custom stuff. But my thing was Grillz. So I got out here and what I did was I started promoting the women. That was the easiest thing. One thing I'm not scared of is to talk to a woman.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would walk up to women and I, get to talking to them. And, and I had like little t-shirts with Gator'z Golden Grills. What's that? Boom, icebreaker. I quit to tell them, hey man, look, follow me on Instagram. I wasn't even getting numbers. So it might look like I was out there, on the chicks, but that wasn't even the case. I was just promoting to them because I can easily talk to them. And shit, them was some of my biggest supporters. That's why I always give love to a lot of people, because a lot of the women that came through was getting grills. Bottom grills. If you go look at go far down in my page when I started actually posting people, you'll see a lot of women. And then boom, I see she got a dude with her. I'll be like, yeah, we got engagement rings too. Come through, come check us out. So and then that kind of started kicking off. So you sell a grill to a woman.
He gonna get the
see
ring.
She got a dude. Man, tell like, look, we got engagement rings. Hit me up on Instagram. I'll show you what you got. So some chicks, they don't even feed into it. I had a bunch of them. Let me see what you got. And then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It go from there. And I have a lot of, I like a lot of people talk about haters and stuff like that, man. Like I've experienced nothing but love from, you, family, friends, the Clarke.
Yeah.
The whole South Side.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I see you out here moving, and it's like everybody embraces what you're doing.
Man, everybody, man, because I stay in my lane. It's not like I'm out there trying to, it's not like I'm out here trying to be some tough guy or trying to bully nobody, anything like that. Hey, I know I got a people personality. I know I'm very approachable. And I know a lot of people because, from me working in the shoe store or me just being out in the clubs, a lot of me showing my ass on social media. A lot of people know me, so I just use that to my advantage. You know what I mean? You've seen that yourself quite a few times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, hell yeah. So what's now you in this point now? What's the goal? Like, what's the grand scheme thing for like Gator'z Golden Grills?
Well, the grand scheme of things is to remain consistent. That's the first thing that you have to do, man. Because I've had times where I, would kind of shy away from it, and when I do that, you can tell, business is slow. So that's when you'll see me start getting back out and all of that. But what I would like, man, is to kind of start tapping into the younger crowd. Because, shit, I'm going to be 40 next year.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 39 in 2 weeks.
I'm 39 this year too, later on, but yeah.
Yeah, I turned 39 on July 23rd. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when we're kind of aging out. You see, and that's where a lot of people get kind of complacent. That's where the watches came into play. We'll chop it up about that in a second. But, so we're aging out. So really not a lot of people our age getting grills.
And shit.
I can't really reach out to the kids, but check this out. My son Quentin going to 12th grade. Rashard, the little light skill, he's going to 9th grade. So, you see I bought them jackets, they got hats, they wear the necklace and all that. So guess what? Hey, I tell them, I don't care if y'all tell them kids at the school, y'all own it, whatever. You know, you want to, you know, we got necklaces. Y'all can wear the necklaces to school. You know, she just, y'all reach out to that because, you know, Quentin go to a big ass school. Rashard going to a humongous school. Them 3,000-4,000 people right there. You push in with that. They start tapping in with the other schools. There go your local stardom right there. You know, and Rashard has the same attitude that I have, the same personality. Quentin too. Quentin really a fly guy. So, you know, so I told him, hey man, promote to the chicks. Tell them get them a bottom grill. Get them a 6-piece. Get them a 4-piece. Get a 2-piece with a front and back bar. You know, I got you. You get paid. You know, so they doing that and they have started that. So now it done got to a point to where everything is just kind of flowing because now I have another 20 years that we can deal with the Grillz because we in Houston, man. We in the South.
Yeah, that ain't going nowhere.
Man, gold teeth ain't going nowhere. Look at us, man. We was rocking Grillz back then and then boom. Look at the kids now.
Yeah.
Still at it.
Yeah.
You know?
Damn. Okay. So, talk about the transition to the watches though.
So the watches just came about just what you can and what you can't afford. I was looking at like, man, I'm gonna start flipping Rolexes because I had a lot of people would call me like, hey man, like you got a Rolex? You know, even though they was, you know, shop talking bullshit or whatever, I would always go through the motions with them. Well, I got this Rolex, so I might have this watch or that watch. You know, $11,000. They like, hell no, man, I ain't got. So I was like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to go find pre-owned Rolexes, a lot older, maybe not so popular, you know, and then maybe I could flip those, right? And then when I started looking into them, I saw that I could afford 1, maybe 2 Rolexes. I ain't gonna be able to do much with it.
Ain't gonna be too much flipping, yeah.
It ain't gonna be too much flipping because you gotta think about, let's say I put a few thousand into a Rolex, shit, I ain't gonna make but probably another 1,000, 1,500 off, if that. You know, everybody want to deal. Everybody
they get the willing and dealing with you.
Man, they get the willing and dealing with you. Then and be like, damn, man, just come on. Now you made is $400-$500. You know, a lot of people don't look at the back end of it like that. Like, you know, shit. You know, them Rolex is expensive, but we still gotta buy them up front. You know, so I saw that wasn't working in my favor. I'm like, man, I'm gonna start my own watch company. So I just got online one night. You know, laying down. You know, just scrolling. Got on social media, looking on Google, everything on Google, everything on YouTube. So, you know, if you ever lack in knowledge in anything, Google and YouTube will teach you whatever you need to know. It also had you jumping off the deep end too, but you know. But found me a manufacturer, right? And I did like about 10 or so sample watches. You know, and I was like, man, just, you know, here, can you put my logo on there? And they were like, yeah, you know, we can do that. So sent them the money. It wasn't a lot of money because I just did like maybe about like 8 different colors and just sent them the money and actually forgot about it. One day, man, my mom had called me. She said, hey, you got a package here. And I wasn't even thinking like, man, what is it? You know, she pop it open for me and, you know, she on FaceTime and she pick up the watches and she say, oh, is this your logo? Man, I'm talking about I totally forgot about it, man. I lost my shit. Yo, man, left work again. I'm coming my ass right over there right now. You know what I'm saying? And came over there, I looked at them, and I was looking at them, and I saw something that I didn't like. So, of course, you know, that happens. You know, you kind of want to find your knack and your style. You know, the square faces I didn't like. We had some link ones, but they was a bit cheap looking, you know, but then that all black with that green gator stood out. Then that brown one with the white face stood out. So I like, these two are it. So I was like, man, I'm gonna do a trial run. I'm gonna order 100 watches of each. The all black and a brown with the white face. These are the first 2 watches that I got. I'll never forget, it was my grandmother passed away October 31st, 2020. All right. So this was October 30th, that Friday before. The first person I sold the watch to was Ronnie Janice. He the promoter.
Yeah. Rooster and all that.
Hey, man, Red Rooster. And hey, man, shout out to Ronnie, man. That's my dog. You know what I'm saying? I got to get up with him, you know. But he had, Ronnie was the first person to buy a watch. Because, of course, you know, like my family, I gave my cousin KD a watch. I gave, you know, my sister a watch. You know, so everybody in my circle had got watches. But Ronnie Janice was the first person that bought a watch. And I was going to give him one because he always showed me love at Carrington's and Red Rooster. That's why I'm always at them 2 places. But he was like, hell no, you buy one. And then Redale Taylor, Trey, the other dude that promote up there with him, he another one. Just, man, give me a watch. I want both. So that's what they did. They started supporting. They started buying the watches. And I remember telling my grandmother about a week or so before she had went into the hospital. I was like, yeah, man, I'm dropping my own line of watches. And she kind of cracked the joke like, yeah, that's better than them gold teeth, baby. I'd rather than watches. You know what I'm saying? I don't really, well, my old man them side a little different. But, like my mom them side, it's very, real reserved and sort of, it's just me and my cousins that's thrown off. You know what I'm saying? But, like, the elders in our family really chill. And it's like, when I drop the watches, it's like, you start seeing support. You start seeing love. And I was getting that with gold teeth, because
watches just appeal to a broader audience.
But the watches just appeal to everybody. And I didn't know of anybody else that was selling watches in Houston. Now, I know it was black-owned watch companies because I heard about Tally and Twine and I think Benson watches, but I dropped my watches and then I came across Incomparable. While I was, the day I dropped, I was like, man, black-owned watches in Houston. Just before I started getting on social media with the first black-owned watch in Houston, then I found out about Incomparable. And I was like, yo, this dude, his watch is dope. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to make sure that I wouldn't do a replicas of his watch just with my logo. So I was making sure, like, whenever I'd order a watch that
he ain't got the design.
That it's not the same design and everything. Now, I know some people kind of look into that. Oh, this is selling for him, so let me do that. Now I wanted to be something different because I didn't want to step on his toes. Because I damn sure wouldn't want nobody stepping on mine. You know what I mean? So, but he did his thing. Shout out to Mario with Incomparable, man. He check him out, real dope dude, man. And it turned into Ronnie buying the watches. So Ronnie had a watch, take a picture of him, post it. My grandmother had passed away. So and then that next week, we had a funeral. My cousins and them, because I had stopped. I wasn't even selling because we was getting ready for the funeral and, things like that. And everybody was like, bro, you got watches now? I saw you posted watches on your stuff. It went from there. I'll never forget that. From when we had the funeral, that next day, I sold out of all 200 watches in 36 hours.
No shit.
You know what I'm saying? Outside, well, all of the 200, I had 100 black and 100 brown with the white. They was all gone. Every single one of them. They were gone.
Yeah, so at that point, I'm
and I wasn't charging a lot. I think I'm charging $45 for the watches and stuff like that. So that really, that's like a tax refund check. Like you wake up, you don't think when you wake up Sunday morning that by Tuesday you're gonna be made X amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like hitting the lottery damn near. So when I saw that I had something, I went straight to the drawing board. I started getting with the watch manufacturer and the people that I have helped me design the watches. And I started asking my sister. I asked, my kids' mothers, like what y'all want to see next? What y'all think? And then everybody's like, you should drop a women's watch. You should go pink. So I did the pink watch, white face, green gator, rose gold case, all of that. Hey, man.
Ate it up.
Another hit. Another hit. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy because, like, now, I was going through that phase of doing, like, the girls love Gator'z Gold and Grillz. So when I was doing that, because so many women was buying the bottom grills and stuff like that, and then a lot of the other women, when the pink watches dropped, it was just going down. So from that point on, I found me a net, and I rode with it, just nonstop. Watches, 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 watches. To where it got to the point to where, the people I was doing jewelry with were like, damn, you don't fuck with us no more, huh?
Yeah.
And it just kind of like, it never went nowhere. It's just like, damn, I was so...
There's demotion over here right now.
Man, it was going... So that's why, I started eventually getting into, pushing the kids, like, with the grills and stuff like that. And it went from there. Then the blue watch, the black with the white with the gold face, and then the gray tape gray watch, you know what I'm saying? Then the burgundy watch. Oh, the burgundy watch, the one we call Wineberry over gold, right? That's actually a collab with my dude Lamond and Troy. He has a wine company called Hall Family Estates. And me and him, we had got together. We just kind of, like, man, let's just figure out something. And then he was like, man, I got a Wineberry over gold liquor that I'm dropping. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. I said, man, give me the colors and we'll find a watch to go with it. And then it was another thing. It just took off. So everything that came with the watches, that shit sold itself. I didn't really even have to do nothing. And then, just good energy, positive, word of mouth. Like I say, if they was out there hating, I wasn't hearing it, what I'm saying? Because there was so many people giving me love. Just think about it. Before me and you started back linking up, you would share it.
Mm-hmm.
That's 10 people following me there. Another chick will be like, ooh, I like this. Somebody else come checking it out. So, and I have people, man, that have every single watch, man. I'm talking about it. People that are pretty close to me, but they don't even, I'd probably give them watches, but they, nah, man, I'm gonna buy it. Cause my watches are affordable. Like my regular signature watches, the ones we got from the signature series, only $35. These watches, I see you wear yours quite often.
I wear this a lot, and people always ask me about. I get stopped about this watch.
Man, yes, and the gold watch is the watch that set Houston off. Yeah. That watch actually was getting me hits from California, Memphis, everywhere else, man. Whatever I was doing, man, anytime somebody posted, I'd get a wild, hey, man, where can I get that gold one from? So I shipped that shit all over the States.
Man. So, okay, you got watches, you got jewelry, you know what I'm saying, the grills, you got the jewelry. Like, what's the next thing you want to get into?
So we tapped into the music a little bit. A good friend of mine that I met when I told you I was out there on the north side, man, my boy J-Mo, we was tapping into the music. Well, that was mostly his thing, And he was like, hey, man, it's a lane for, dudes like me and you in the music game. He was like, man, we should give it a try. So, we got together. He formed Made Guys Entertainment. I came in on the promotional side of it. And, we did a couple, we did I want to say 4 projects. Season of Sacrifice, Don Moleon. I know I'm forgetting something, man. Yeah, we did. I just know we did 4 projects, and then we did a couple singles, like Chopper's Out. I'm singing the hook on Chopper's Out. We shot a video for it and everything. You'll enjoy that shit because it's crazy as hell. The kids sing it, dancing in it, and everything. It's wild. But I had did that, and like I was telling you, man, like that's when I started respecting the rap game or even the music game on a whole nother level. Cause now granted, J-Mo was talented. He could go in there and do it in one take, but then shit, just listen to him run it back and redo this and put this there and all that. It was rough. And Kalani on the beat, my dog Kalani did.
I know you talking about, yeah.
Man, Kalani family, man. He did a lot of. We recorded just everything in his studio. You know what I'm saying? Even the Choppers Out, the green screen we use was in. And over there at the studio, and that's over there at the I think it's We Love to Jam Radio or something like that. They have their radio station over there as well. But yeah, like right there on the north side, So we did the music for a while. Me, I'm gonna keep on with the watches.
Do you have a set time when you drop them, like seasons, or is it just when you find something dope you get ready to play?
We tried doing seasons. We tried doing set times, but then, we drop a watch, somebody will be like, man, I missed it, I need it again. And I'll be like, man, I'm not bringing that watch back for 2 or 3 people. The next thing you know, it never fails. 30 people will want a black watch. Shit, I'll order 50 of them if 30 people want them, you know what I'm saying? So, it's like, I tried to go on a routine, tried to drop them monthly, but then, you can't really do it like that.
It don't always work with the demand. You know what I mean?
It don't. So I take suggestions too. Hey man, you should do a green one. I dropped that green watch. I did an all white party. That's the one where me and old Southside Chuck was on the video doing the Southside at, right? Yeah, and I will say this on camera. It is not a person in Houston that's Southside Lava than Southside Chuck.
I second that.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't taking away from the other legends out there that get out there and
some people with some nice moves.
Hey, some people that get down. But hey, man.
Nah, the boy Chuck got moves though.
Hey, man, I'm just saying, man.
He got so many. It's layers to his south side. You know what I mean?
All I do is get out there and I just shock it and rock it and I talk loud. He actually get out there.
That boy getting out there and giving you all your moves.
I'm talking about the feel. I was just about to say that. In that video that me and him in, That boy get to slide their feet.
Yeah.
That's like, I raise my hands. You see, I look back like, yo, hold on, Chuck. You know what I'm
Now, when
saying?
that boy hit the slide, it's a wrap. It's
Man,
a wrap.
hey.
You can wrap your south side up and go on with your shit, man.
You feel me? But yeah, I had dropped a blue on blue watch. A blue watch with a blue face. You know, and I didn't think that it would do a lot. And that actually turned into the Alameda Plaza watch. Because, Big Mello got that song True Blue, and got the APT, you know what I'm saying? And when I dropped that watch, I put it on social media, man. And my whole hood was like, hey, bro, we should get first dibs on it. Tatum, Ronnie Richards, my Uncle B-Law, you know what I'm saying? Like, just anybody that's in the hood, you know what I'm saying, that was from the plaza was like, hey, man, we should get first dibs on it. So I was like, you want to know something? I'm going to do that. I'm going to let the plaza get first dibs on it. And, man, they ran through that shit, man. They ran through that shit. They ran through it. I was like, it was nothing that I could do about it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, they ran through it. I think I might have had like 8 or 9 watches left. Because, like, my boy Ronnie, he bought 2 of them. My boy Matto and Romy, they bought 2 apiece. It's like just in the neighborhood, I couldn't even make it out the neighborhood. I was trying to do that a favor, thinking like, all right, I might sell 10, 15 of it. Man, damn near my whole order went to plan. So I had to re-up on that again. The supply and demand.
Yeah, them good problems though, man.
No, great problems. It gets frustrating sometimes because you want to be able to, like that, because you want to keep that momentum. But then, you know how that goes. Sometimes that momentum don't work in your favor. So you just got to post and keep people active, let them know they coming back, it's dropping and all of that. And boom.
You got any idea on when you drop your next one?
Actually, yeah, I'm dropping a black and silver one like this.
Nice.
So maybe next week.
Okay.
Maybe next week. I'm trying to wait on the time is right.
And then they can get it on what's the website?
You can get on the website www.GatorzGoldenGrills.com. You can hit me up on Instagram at GatorzGoldenGrills.com. Look me up on Facebook at GatorzGoldenGrills.com. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just however you do it. Just search Gator'z Golden Grills. It's gonna give you numerous links.
Look for the gator with the gold teeth, man.
Man, look for the gator with the gold teeth. It might be another gator with a gold teeth out there, but you'll be able to tell the difference.
And that is.
You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to tell the difference, man.
Yeah, it is. Nah, man, I appreciate you coming through, bro.
No, man.
I'm at that you come back through, you know what I'm saying, more often to do more shit. But on the first, you know what I'm saying, I definitely wanted you to come through, talk about the brand, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
introduce the brand to the people. I've been rocking it. People ask me all the time about these watches. I always tell them it's Gator.
You wanna know what's crazy, man? Yo, the other black and gold watch you had, man. Rest in peace, Big Pokey, man. I remember watching you in the documentary with him when you was like, and I'm the whole time I'm like, man, that boy got that goddamn watch on, man. And they get like even Cliche. Cliche was on one of the court TV shows, and I'm looking at her. She got her all white watch on, and I'm sitting over there like, yo, look, like I paused it and everything. I was live. She was like, I told you I was in Cali wearing it. I'm like, shit, I didn't know you was on TV in Cali wearing it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, shout out Cliche, man.
Man, Cliche, man, love her to death, man. I love Tricky C, man.
Tricky C, yeah.
That is my dude. That's Hiram Clarke OG. That has been family a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just want to give a lot of love to everybody, man. The support has always been real. My family, a lot of people get to laughing, but man, some of my biggest supporters, man, was my family, my children's mothers. Cause I guess they looking at it like shit. We need this
nigga to do good.
Hey man, we need this shit to do good. You know what I'm saying? Man, my kids, man, it's crazy. Cause if I'm sitting at the house and I'm arranging the boxes, okay, this getting shipped out over here. This is for such a man. My kids will be right there with me, just getting it on. And that excites me. That it excites me.
Nah, that's great because they let you know like they gonna keep it going, man.
And that's why I was like, man, when they reached out, when Quentin and Rashard said that they was ready to do that, I was like, man, bet, cause shit, I don't know how I was gonna keep the gold, and all that stuff going with the kids, but shit, I done bought us another 20 years, 17 and 14, shit, I get another 20 years out of them.
Right, and then in that time they got to have kids and pass it on.
Man, and look, and then pass it on. We'll be deep off in the game by that time.
The generational wealth, man. That's what it's about.
Yeah, man, most definitely, man.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, man, I appreciate you coming through, bro. You know what I'm
man.
saying? I always appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Dropping shit off to me, always live. Like I say, this one here, bro. This is probably my favorite.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I remember when you got that watch, man. We was at
This is probably my
that
favorite.
Slab Karaoke, And I mean, when you pulled that, you were like, "Ooh, shit!" I remember looking at you when you did that.
Yeah, bro. This is probably
that's-
my
that shit
favorite. And
be
you done had a
making me
lot of dope ones. You done had a lot of live shit, but this is probably my favorite.
Let me tell you something, man. Anytime I go somewhere and I see people with the watches on, hey, man, I'm pulling my camera out. Like, look, man, look what they got on. That shit is exciting to me. You know, I love it, man. But I do appreciate you, man, for everything. You know, you rock the watches without me even having to. You don't know if you're going to bump into me on certain days.
Shit on you.
And I always see you with a watch on, so.
Yeah, with Gator'z Gold and Grillz, y'all need to get y'all watches, man. You know what I'm saying? Get your jewelry game together, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, and come fuck with me. And we hiring right now, too. Hit me up on Instagram, man. We might can make something work, so come get with me.
And there it is, man. Donnie Houston, Gator Gold and Grillz, Donnie Houston Podcast, man. Whip out of here.
Yep.
Donnie Houston.
Subscribe to the Donnie Houston Podcast, man.